Um, so, as you remember, we are in chapter 18, and we have started it. And I will just remind ourselves that we were talking about the danger or the importance of being not too close to the Kodesh. Okay, and from now on, since there was this event of going into close to the Kodesh, from now on, the responsibility for this issue is on the Levites. And this is why also, where I read somewhere, there on the Levites and the priests. And this is why, well, because of their duty or job is so dangerous, they have many gifts that they get from the people, from all other Israel, all other parts of Israel. And we know this Vehazar Karev Yumat is very strong. Very strong. Okay, so let's continue. And actually, it continues to talk about the gifts and all the managements of the Kohanim and the, well, maybe we can say day-to-day management of the Kohanim and Levim. Just a minute, let me see. Okay. So, Orit is here. Yofi. So, Adina, you would like, you want to start? It's, please read 8 until 13.
Okay. And the Lord spoke unto Aaron, and I behold, have given thee charge of my heave offerings, even of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them for a consecrated portion, and to thy sons as a due forever. This shall be thine of the most holy things reserved from the fire, every offering of theirs, even every meal offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every guilt offering of theirs, which they may render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and for thy sons. In a most holy place shalt thou eat thereof, every male may eat thereof, it shall be holy unto thee. And this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, even all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee, as a due forever. Everyone that is clean in thy house may eat thereof. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the corn, the first part of them, which they give unto the Lord, to thee have I given them. The first ripe fruits of all that is in their land, which they bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. Everyone that is clean in thy house may eat thereof.
Thank you. What do we have here, actually?
Well, the people are supporting the Levites, the Kohanim, because they have this job to do in the sanctuary or in the Ohel Moed, so they can't go out and raise flocks and farm,
Yeah.
do farming and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So their livelihood has to be provided for.
Provided, yes, exactly. And there's something interesting here about look at number 9 and 10. The Hebrew saying Kodesh Kodashim lecha hu. Now, and bekodesh HaKodashim tochlenu, and the English saying in the most holy place shall you eat it. But we know that Kodesh Kodashim, what is Kodesh Kodashim normally? Kodesh Kodashim is the inner parts, Shalom Orit, לא שמתי לב. The inner parts of the tabernacle, right? We have the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and inside, there is like a bigger room, and then in a room, a smaller one, that in the bigger room we have the menorah, the lamp, the table with the Lechem HaKodesh, and okay? And the inner room, we have the ark with the two kruvim on the ark. This is the most holy place. This is the Kodesh Kodashim that only the high priest and only once in a year in Yom Kippur can go into. But here, Kodesh Kodashim is a different thing, is a different meaning. It's only the meaning of, like in English, the most holy, I mean, it requires from the priest to eat this offering, those gifts, in a holy manner. They have to regard this gift as very, very holy. This is the meaning here of Kodesh Kodashim. Okay, this is why, and as Adina said, they cannot go outside and to grow their drawings, and they have another job actually. Okay, so this is Kodesh Kodashim, because in the beginning I read Kodesh Kodashim and I said, why they go into the place that it can't, it's not, doesn't make sense. Okay. Anything, and even look at this, they have to eat it as when they are clean, they are tahor, tehorim. Kol tahor bevetcha yochal oto. When they are clean. And it is a chok olam. I mean, from now forever.
Forever.
Yes. Any comment?
So if I may.
Yes, sure.
I mean, the whole chapter sort of leaves me with a thought, and the very beginning of it, the Lord said to Aaron, makes me want to ask, okay, how does this story happen to come down to us, unless there were other people there that don't happen to be mentioned? It means that Aaron told us that this is what the Lord said to him. Am I missing something in that part?
Wait, I think I didn't fully understand you.
Okay, so the very beginning there, and the Lord said unto Aaron.
Yes.
And then it tells all about what the Lord said. So how does that story come to us? It would seem that either someone else heard God speak to Aaron, or Aaron told us, this is what God said to me.
You mean we don't have the the verse that says Aaron, the Lord said to Aaron and Aaron said to us? This is what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of an assumption that I make that he said it, he told the story, so that
Yes.
that's how it came to be written down, and it's not based on knowing something, it's based on not knowing that there's any other explanation for it. And so without getting political here, I just imagine, you know, what if one of our leaders anywhere in the world comes and says, God told me that you're supposed to give me all the best parts of everything you are donating, and it goes to me. And you know, this is my restriction on it, but it just seems a little self-serving.
But this isn't
You know,
from everywhere else in the Torah where it says, and
Exactly. This is exactly what I wanted to say. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. You're right. But really, if we go in this direction, so it's really, I mean, all the Torah is dealing with God said to Moses, and then Moses
Sure.
told God, and also all the prophets, the Nevi'im,
Mhm.
because God is God connects, if we can say this, only with special, certain people, right? And not
Yeah.
everyone. Now, but I would like to emphasize something connected to what you said, that here God talks to Aaron, and this is something special, not
Yeah.
only and it's really, I think there is a kind of I don't know, I mean, not ironic, but if you remember in Exodus in the beginning, what was the duty of Aaron? Why Aaron joined Moshe with all this? Remember that?
he was the one,
Moshe, Adina,
Aaron was the one who talked.
exactly. Who was supposed to talk, נכון? Moshe said, אני כבד פה וכבד לשון, I can't speak well and all that, he didn't want.
Yeah.
God said, okay, I'm giving you a, how do you say, in Hebrew it would be dover המלך.
Yeah.
He's a press secretary.
Okay, so hadover, but through all the Torah, until the end of Deuteronomy, all we hear, most of it is Moshe. So Moshe and Aaron is quite quiet.
Yeah, and I agree. And part of it, why it may have stood out, is because it's Aaron instead of it's
נכון.
Moshe. But at the same time, not everything that Moshe says, God said to me to tell you this, not everything is to his personal benefit. I mean, sometimes there are the things he wants to do as a leader.
Very nice. Yes.
But this is like, yeah, give me personally your stuff. That just sort of doesn't.
Yeah.
Nice, but so be it.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
There was something that caught my attention.
Okay.
Okay, it's talking about, this is for you and your sons to eat. This is for you and your sons to eat. And then all of a sudden the daughters can also eat.
רגע, what verse?
Okay.
Here, in 11. נכון, לבניך ולבנותיך.
And all of a sudden the daughters can eat also. Or anyone in your house can eat as long as they're clean. So
Yes.
why should the girls not be able to eat the other stuff, but they can eat this stuff? It's just a question. Just caught my attention.
It's really interesting, and I maybe can you? I will look at my book. Can you look at in your books about this? Yeah, I didn't notice this. Well, I mean, normally, they have to eat something, the daughters, right? And the women, they have to eat something. So, but you are right that they are mentioned only in certain. So first, it's for the men that are going. Rashi says in 10 for men that are going to be priests and that are priests already. No, it doesn't. It doesn't refer to the daughters.
Hertz doesn't either. There's nothing in the Hertz.
Yes. Well, Hertz I think Hertz takes a lot of from Rashi and Chazal. I'm looking here at Rashi and also Da'at Mikra. Let's see, רגע.
So there's a note in the women's commentary.
Oh, okay. Should be in this occasion.
Yeah, it's not that clear and it's not that feminist. It says, as to 11, women in priestly families could share the offerings and first fruits. The explicit mention of daughters rather than wives or women may be necessary in light of the shifting position of a daughter within a household after she marries. And I don't know about that. The mention
It
of
means that
this translation reflects the understanding that the you here refers to the household's primary couple who runs the household.
I see.
I don't-
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that when a daughter marries, she belongs to her husband, her new husband, and all his household. I mean, she
Mhm.
doesn't go by the law. She doesn't go by the laws of her parents' home.
She
Okay, so
becomes a
this is the-
member of the husband's household.
Yes,
So in the
exactly.
husband's household, she's like a daughter.
Yes, yes, and
But there are only 3 offerings that are restricted to the males. The guilt, the sin, and the grain. So it's 3 very specific offerings are set aside. for the males only.
wait a minute. Where do you say it? Here in the
If you
9.
look at
right?
at the bottom of 8,
Yes.
it's well, this is not clear in this one, though. It says
Yes, in 9. In 9.
9, sorry.
Yes,
The
yes.
offerings by
According to
fire,
Islam,
namely the meal, the sin, and the guilt.
meal offering and every sin offering. And
Every
the-
guilt offering, and those are the ones for the males, which is a
Yes.
small subset.
Yeah,
I have a
10.
question. It says, to everyone who is clean, but
Yes.
weren't menstruating women considered unclean? So I'm wondering, what do they eat during that few days or week every month?
Yeah,
Everyone
that's
at the bottom
that's
of
an
11 says everyone that
excellent
is clean.
question. And during giving birth, an excellent question. And you know what? First of all, let's about what John said about the 3. So you're saying that the 3 offering goes to the priests? This is, I think.
I'm saying there are 3 offerings that go only to the males.
Nahon.
Every
Yes.
other offering goes to the whole household as long as they're
Yes,
kahor.
yes, I think this is what the text means. Yes, I think you're right. And also, this is what Rashi says is to the, or that Mikra says it's to the men that are going to be a priest or are already priests.
Matam is male generally.
תשאל, אני לא שמעתי.
מתנה, it's generally male.
Heave offering of their gift. No, I think the heave offering is not mentioned in 9. It is mentioned only in 11.
Yes,
And
but what the difference between
The heave is the
I think
tenufah.
it's only just gifts. This is only because it's not a korban. It's truma. It's an offering. Okay, in Hebrew it says trumat matanam, right? And in English, and the word is the heave offering. Now, the Hebrew of all other korbanot is mincha, chatat, ve'asham. But in English, it's still meal offering, guilt offering. So the word offering repeats itself in all the different kinds of gifts. But I think that for for in 11, we are talking about gifts that people should give to the household, to the priest household. Other gifts, not, I mean, other food, not only קורבנות, not only חטאת, אשם ואני חושבת, יוסי, זה מה שנראה לי. Not only sin offering, meal offering.
But for the daughters, it's go just מתנה, just.
Exactly. This is what John said, that for the male.
I ask if it's low food.
Low food, like not the best part.
Not the best one, not the meal and.
Okay, so not the best parts, and when they have, like what Judy said, when they have their sorry, I forgot the word.
Period.
Their period, okay. When they have their period, what do they eat?
Well, they must have eaten something because we're still here today.
Yeah.
True.
That's for sure. Yeah. But you know what? But it annoys me.
60 days after they give birth, then certainly we would have died out.
Yeah, no, of course. But it annoys me that we don't find any commentary about it in well, at least in the what we have here in front of us now. I have two books with a few commentators. You have your books.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
it just occurred to them that what the women were going to eat, that they had to figure out what the women were going to eat because they assumed that the women were going to eat.
So I also have the Eitz Chaim commentary here.
Yeah.
And in 11, it comments on the phrase daughters that are with you, which says members of a priest's household may partake of sacred food, including slaves, but not hired laborers who maintain their own households. Nor may a married daughter who joins her lay husband's household eat sacred food.
Well, yeah, maybe when the women had their period, they just went out and ate something from with other people, with common people. Just
Right. I think they're saying because she's no longer a member of the priest's household, then they can't have.
Yeah.
They
So
through the father of the other family. But at least they comment
and also, and also, the word here tahor in 13 and in clean, it doesn't say to us anything about what is the meaning of tahor here. It doesn't say anything. Just call tahor bevetcha yochlenu. So we assume that this is tahor of in the same meaning of other place in other places, but it's really something interesting. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, the Eitz Chaim commentary comes from the conservative Rabbinical Assembly, and it's a 21st century commentary. So they're a little more up to date in terms of looking at women's issues as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I seem to have started a lot of trouble here, and I didn't mean to, but
No, it's interesting.
No, this is the fun.
Just natural talent, Adina.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
But Aura, it seems to me, going back to Gerson's point, that we just are coming out of a big rebellion and everything. And here we have this situation where Aaron says, and oh, by the way, God told me you should give me the best of everything. It doesn't seem wise to say that right at this point, unless you would say that all the rebels were killed in the rebellion, you know, swallowed up by the earth and all that kind of thing. And now, I mean, if you were cynical like we are today, because, you know, our leaders, we see them as very human, you know, we would be very hesitant to accept
give.
that. And yet traditionally, it seems to me that we look at this as to the holiness of the sanctuary, the holiness of the priests, and being the intermediaries, that you're really
Yeah.
making this sacrifice to God, you know. So it's just interesting in terms of the point that Gerson made at the beginning.
Yeah. Very interesting. About the placement of this. Well, this chapter, we can ask, this chapter and the next chapter, we can ask, why is it right here? And at least about chapter 19, what I read is that because they are getting close to the promised land, so there are many new or detailed laws that they are being given, because and also you will see in next chapter about all the laws of tum'ah v'tahara, cleanliness, and what, don't remember what is the opposite.
Yeah, I know.
But-
I can't think of the word either.
I forgot it. But-
Blemish or a blemish or a
yes.
a trafe, really.
No, well, not exactly taref, but the blemish, and so and because they are getting close to the promised land, and
Mhm.
they will have to conquer it and to be in contact with the people that live there right now, who are of course not kedoshim and not tehorim and all that. So here we have like a group of laws that they are being given here. And also, and according to what you're saying, maybe you're right about that. Really, all the rebellion people were killed. And yeah, it sounds.
That's interesting too, what you say, that they're kind of preparing to inhabit the promised land.
Exactly.
I see all of this as a way to organize their society. All of these
Yes.
rules, regulations that we're given throughout the sojourn in the desert are attempting to, you know, create a social order.
Yes. Exactly. Yes, and they got many rules already. We read in Leviticus, and also in parts of the Numbers, but they are continue to have them. Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Judy, would you like to read 14
Sure.
until 16? And I will just open here something.
Everything, okay, whenever you're ready. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Everything that openeth the womb of all flesh which they offer unto the Lord, both of man and beast, shall be thine. Howbeit the firstborn of man shalt thou surely redeem, and the firstling of unclean beasts shalt thou redeem. And their redemption money from a month old shalt thou redeem them, shall be according to thy valuation, 5 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary, the same is 20 gerahs.
Thank you. So again, I think this is the Pidyon Bechor, right? This is the laws of the Pidyon Bechor. That belongs to God first, and then also of man or of animal, but you will have to redeem it or him. Yeah, it's פדיון בכור מבין חודש תפדה. Can you read also this? This is from Exodus chapter 30 about the Gera. What is Gera?
This they shall give every one that passeth among them that are numbered, half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. The shekel is 20 gerahs, half a shekel for an offering to the Lord.
Thank you. And Gera, according to the encyclopedia, is about a half of, or even less than half of a gram. It is a part of a shekel, actually. Okay, let's continue.
But the firstling of an ox, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, thou shalt not redeem. They are holy. Thou shalt dash their blood against the altar, and shalt make their fat smoke for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the flesh of them shall be thine, as the wave breast, and as the right thigh, it shall be thine.
And this,
Oh.
19.
Okay. All the heave offerings of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Lord have I given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, as a due forever. It is an everlasting covenant of salt before the Lord unto thee, and to thy seed with thee.
Thank you. So actually, he repeats in himself a little bit here, right? That all the gifts from the kind of in Hebrew it's donations, turmot, of the holy things that the people of Israel should give to God. Actually, they go to God, to Aaron and his sons and his family. Here also we have the daughters also, sons and thy daughter, and it doesn't say here that they should be tahor. So maybe here's your answer. When someone has her period, she reads this verse, and so that's okay.
You pick and choose what you want, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. She can choose exactly.
Or what is the meaning of Brit Melach?
Zeu, Brit Melach. I want to talk about it. It's very interesting, and just a minute. I want to see.
where the people have also to.
Actually, I will talk about it. Yeah, it's very interesting. The salt covenant. Now here, this Bechor show. Okay, so the first Bechor, okay, in the human and in a beast, you have to redeem it. I mean, you can eat it after you buy it from God, right? After you buy it, and here's even the price. But this Bechor of an ox or a firstling, of a sheep, of a goat, you cannot redeem it. You have to kill them and to sacrifice them, and that's it.
What if the firstborn has a mumra?
It doesn't say, actually. It doesn't
But
say,
you-
because it doesn't say that he should be without blemish. Oh, it does?
No, but you can't sacrifice it if it's blemished, and you can't redeem it.
Yeah. But probably Chazal have, I didn't look for it, but probably Chazal, if you look, I mean, they took all the laws and they created some kind of understandings what to do with laws that don't make sense. So I think, I don't know about this, what we're doing, but it's probably, maybe we can ask Rav David. It should be,
I know what Rashi said about the
Hmm.
actually, Anyway, in this text, it doesn't say about the without blemish. Now, about the everlasting covenant of salt. Okay. Chok olam, in Hebrew, chok olam, and we have here, chok olam means brit melach olam hi. Okay, now, melach, because it was known as, and until today, melach is salt is a material that people use to preserve food. So we have today the refrigerators and all other methods of preservation, but in the old days, melach, salt was a very, very important material for that issue, for that purpose. So because it is about preserving something for a long time, so Brit Melach, a covenant of salt, means a very, very strong covenant. This is what this means. And let's read a few other verses with the words of Brit Melach. John, I think you didn't read, right?
I'm just saying, sorry, I was trying to see if Rashi said anything about this.
Yeah. So you found something?
Not yet.
No, I think it should be in the Talmud, not because it's really not clear here, and this is what part of the big part of the Talmud is all about, to create, to clear to make the laws of the Torah clearer.
Yeah.
And what to
By
do
the
with
time Rashi got to it, it had clearly been answered, since he doesn't address the question.
So maybe Gershom, would you like to read here? It's Leviticus chapter 2.
Okay.
And after Ezekiel, just to read in sequence, everything.
Okay. And when anyone bringeth a meal offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it and put frankincense thereon. And every meal offering of thine shalt thou season with salt, neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meal offering. With all thy offerings thou shalt offer salt. When thou hast made an end of purifying it, thou shalt offer a young bullock without blemish, and a ram out of the flock without blemish. And thou shalt present them before the Lord, and the priest shall cast salt upon them, and they shall offer them up for a burnt offering unto the Lord. And Abiyah stood upon.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Please go on.
And Abiyah stood upon Mount Zemaraim, which is in the hill country of Ephraim, and said, Hear me, O Jeroboam and all Israel. Ought ye not to know that the Lord, the God of Israel, gave the kingdom over Israel to David?
Wait a minute, and
forever.
this is the whole point here.
Even to him and to his sons by a covenant of salt. Okay. Now, because we eat the salt of the palace, and it is not meet for us to see the king's dishonor, therefore have we sent and announced to the king.
Okay. Thank you. So all these verses talk about the importance of the salt as something that for a long or symbolize a long covenant, long here, and also here the covenant with God, but also the kingdom of David is a long-lasting kingdom, and again it says with the covenant of salt. And here in Ezra, which is in Aramaic, the salt means here loyalty to the king. Okay, because of so it said, they said, we hear all kinds of things around us, and we don't want to. It says about Jerusalem that the Jews will come to Jerusalem and they will not pay the taxes to the king, to the king. We are talking about the Persian period. Okay, during the second house, so second temple, and they will not. And we don't want to see the king's dishonor, so we send this announcement to it. It's like they spy, and they gave the king their messages, and it means the salt of the palace. It means we are loyal to the king. This is what the salt. And we have here something about it's very interesting. Until today we use salt for preserved food.
Oh, in the ancient days, the salt was very expensive.
Expensive,
Not,
yes.
Valuable for.
Okay, I will send you after the lesson. I will send you a link for I found 2 short videos about the importance of salt. And yes, it was so expensive that they replaced salt with gold. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
With gold, you measure gold with salt like this, and it's amazing. Yes, it's
The Roman army was paid with
because
salt.
נכון, בדיוק, exactly. This is what.
There's the word salary.
Mhm.
Yes, the word salary, and there are many other words about that.
And you say someone is worth his salt.
Wow. Here
Yep.
you are, you see. Yes, it's very interesting, and I think it was so expensive, and expensive not only in money value, but because without salt you don't have food. Because salt preserves the food for a long time, and as John said, the army couldn't move without salt. It's like gunpowder. It's the importance of like gunpowder. It's very interesting. Okay. Let's continue. Oh my God. Wait a minute, Gershom, you read now, right? Or this? So, John, can you read in 20 until 24?
Okay, I'll try this one. And the Lord said to Aaron, you shall, however, have no territorial share among them, or own any portion in their midst. I am your portion and your share among the Israelites. And to the Levites I hereby give all the tithes in Israel as their share in return for the services that they perform, the services of the tent of meeting. Henceforth, Israelites shall not trespass on the tent of meeting and thus incur guilt and die. Only Levites shall perform the services of the tent of meeting, others would incur guilt. It is the law for all time throughout the ages, but they shall have no territorial share among the Israelites, for it is the tithes set aside by the Israelites as a gift to the Lord that I give to the Levites as their share. Therefore I have said concerning them, they shall have no territorial share among the Israelites.
Yeah, thank you. This is, it continues the same issue of how do actually they live, the priests and Levites. So they will not have the inheritance among the children of Israel, but in compensation they will have gifts from the people of Israel. And
this may be the first recorded evidence of regifting.
sorry, I didn't of what?
So the term regifting is when somebody gives you a gift and you don't want it, so you give it to someone else.
Ah,
So this is the first example of it.
yeah. Yeah. It's still wrapped. But here it says, look at 21, it says very clear. חלף עבודתם אשר הם עובדים את עבודת אוהל מועד. In return for their service, will they serve even service? Exactly this. And this is the summary of all this issue that we read in 17 and 18. Now I'm looking for something about the tense of tense. Wait, my cat here, just a moment. Maybe it's the different section. Yes, okay. So now the Levites have the tense of every inheritance, right? So if you think, I think the Levites had got the largest area. Don't you think? Because if, for example, Binyamin is a small tribe and Menashe is a very large tribe, or Yehuda is a big tribe, right? So they got, we will read it in a few chapters, but they got a large tribes got larger areas, right? But the Levites got a tenth of each and every area. So they got more. Okay, let's move on. אורית, את רוצה לקרוא? 25 to until the end, 32.
From which number? 25?
25 until the end of the chapter, yes.
Okay, and the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Moreover, thou shalt speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when you take of the children of Israel the tithe, which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then you shall set apart of it a gift for the Lord, even a tithe of the tithe.
Yeah.
And the gift, wait 1 second, and the
Oh,
gift
sorry.
which you set apart shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus ye also shall set apart a gift unto the Lord of all your tithes, which you receive of the children of Israel, and thereof you shall give the gift which is set apart unto the Lord to Aaron the priest. Out of all that is given to you, ye shall set apart all of that which is due unto the Lord, of all the best thereof, even the hallowed part thereof out of it. Therefore, thou shalt say unto them, when ye set apart the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor and as the increase of the wine press. And you may eat it in every place and your households, for it is your reward in return for your service in the tent of meeting. And ye shall bear no sin by reason of it, seeing that you have set apart from it the best thereof, and ye shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, that ye die not.
Thank you. Oh, this is the word I was looking for, profane, in contrast to cleanliness. So here, you see, this is what I was looking for. It's maaser mina maaser. So the Levites get their gifts, and they give to the priest a tenth of this, right? And something else, look at number 29. I will read it רגע. מכל מתנותיכם תרימו, תרימו means donation, מלשון of the word תרומה, את כל תרומת אדוני, מכל חלבו את מקדשו ממנו. Now, מקדשו, you could understand, and in English, the translation is correct because it's the hallowed part. Now, מקדשו, you could understand it as מקדשו. I mean, like, Mikdash is the temple. And so in order not to be confused with the word Mikdash, Mikdasho, the Nikud here, the you know, the signs of, instead of the vowels, yes, the points are Mikdesho, and this means the very best part of the food. Of all the crops and the wine and all that. The very Mikdesho is the best part of it. Okay, what is exactly hallowed in English?
Holy, revered.
Blessed.
Blessed. Okay.
Sanctified.
Blessed. Okay.
And something set aside as holy.
Okay. So it, because it comes from the word holy.
Yeah, well, hallows, as in Halloween, hallowed are saints.
I see. So it's a very good translation, because Mikdesho here, it's in order not to, again, it's just the holy part, but in the meaning of the best part.
Mhm.
Okay. And here you have ואכלתם אותו בכל מקום אתם, and again, they don't have to eat it when they are holy or clean, or not holy, clean. It doesn't say here. And again, it repeats, כי שכרו לכם חלף עבודתכם באוהל מועד. It's exactly the reward in return. And I think everything is in reward, in return, because of the dangerous of their job, because of the dangerous. And we have the mention of it in 32. Look at how the chapter ends. And you shall bear no sin, and all that, and you shall not profane the holy thing of the children of Israel. I would say, otherwise you will die.
Mhm.
This is the meaning here, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think I want to do something else now. We have about 15 minutes, and before we start 19, I would like to show you something. Last time, just a minute. I hope I put it here. Ken. Last time, Sharon asked about when, I mean, when do all these events that we've been reading took place? I mean, we have they were in the wilderness for 40 years, right? This is the known fact, or I don't know, fact or not fact, but this is the known story.
Yeah.
And when within this 40 years, when every event happened, okay? So, and I remember I told her that it is very, it's really not easy to say, to determine, because all the events, not all the events come with dates. You know, in the beginning of Bamidbar, you have, or in the end of Shmot, you have in the last month, in the first day, and of course for Pesach we have exactly the 14th day of Nisan and all that. But so I tried to look it up and to try to see about when, I mean, to look up the words in the book of Numbers that regarding time, okay? Month, day, I don't know, week, a date, something. Okay, so what I found is this. First of all, let's say that Egypt, let's call Egypt as a T0, right? Okay, T0. I know that Gershom will laugh about it. I knew it. Okay, so we have in Exodus and chapter 1 to 14, Egypt. And then in the rest of Exodus and in Leviticus, we have all the events of Mount Sinai, the calf scene, the building of the tabernacle, and all the laws in Vayikra, in Leviticus. And this, we have the first year and the first months, okay? One year and a month. And then in Numbers, in chapter 1, if you remember, we have the census. It says, here we have a date. In the second year, first month, second day even, okay? We have this, so we are talking, and through all the chapters of Number until 14, okay, we have chapter 11 and 12, the sin of lust, and Miriam leprosy, and in chapters 13, 14, the story of the spies, okay? And so chapters 1 to 14, we are talking about like second year and a half, something like that. Okay, the spies were 40 days, right? In Canaan, and then they came back and they talked, and there was the Magifah, the plague, and all that. So let's say the second, sorry, let's say that the second, this is my cat, sorry. They managed to open the door, and this is why they are here. So, okay, now chapter 15 until 19, we have Korach and all the different laws, what we just read, and we will read next time and all that. We don't know, we don't have any other, any mention of a date here. So we can assume that this is the rest of 38. Now, why do I say this? Because in chapter 20 already, we have the people of Israel, the story talk about Sin Desert, Miriam death, Kadesh, Negev, Edom, Emori. This is Jordani and the Negev. Okay, so in chapter 20, they are already in the last part of their journey, very last. So I don't know how we will read. I don't remember where, maybe there is something. And I wrote here. Here in the first verse of number 20, if I remember correctly, it says the first month, but it doesn't say which year. The first month, okay? And here in chapters 22 to 36, we have the war with Midian and the Gad and Menashe, all the divining of the Ever HaYarden HaMizrachi, not before they got into the Promised Land, okay? The Ever HaYarden HaMizrachi and the Shlofcha daughters and all that. There is no indication of the exact year. Now, Deuteronomy, as you know, it's a big speech of Moses. They are in Arvot Moab, and I just assume that this is the 40th year, because after that they went. Moshe died, and then they went. Joshua went into the Promised Land.
Yeah.
So we don't really know the exact timeline. This is what I found. If you know something else, or you can find something else, maybe, I don't know, maybe Mordechai knows something. Okay, so this is any comments about this?
Oh, about these 38 years, it's usually people say אין מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה. There is no,
This is Chazal.
yes.
Yes, yes. And מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה. Yes, Chazal, when they have problems, when they don't know how to settle a problem in the text, and they don't know when something happened after something else, they say, אין מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה. This is a very good נוסחה, formula.
I'm sorry, what did they say?
There's no.
אין מוקדם
like,
ומאוחר בתורה.
Oh,
Everything, it doesn't matter. אין מוקדם ומאוחר. Okay. For example, רגע, about the Mount Sinai. כן. We know, according to the text, that the calf scene came right after Mount Sinai. Okay. But it doesn't say, I mean, if it wasn't, no, maybe it's not a good example. I don't remember it now, but there are few examples that if that, and this is one of the biggest differences between research of the Bible and Chazal attitude, because the research say, okay, this is the text. Let's see what the text wants to say. And if there are problems in the text and things that are not clear and things that we don't know how to settle, okay, this is the text. This is the text. Maybe it's all kinds of many authors, maybe many, we call it masorot, maybe all kinds of tradition, stories that went through the one author set in Jerusalem and another author was living in Modi'in, and they both wrote something, and then after years, someone else took both stories and tried to put it together. But they don't say, this is the text. It's full of contradictions and full of problems. Chazal say the text is written by God. This means that there's nothing, if we don't understand, it doesn't say that it's not correct or something. We just don't understand. It's not, everything is written by God. And also, their based assumption is that all of us were in Mount Sinai. All of us. I mean, all of Israelis through all the generation. So if someone, I heard once a course by, forgot his name, איך קוראים ליוסי למרצה הזה של, I remember, but he said, if someone of the sages said, no, it wasn't like this, it was like this, like this. So another sage said, oh, how do you know? So the first one said, oh, I've been there. I know, because I've been there. So we all can, according to Chazal, we can all say this. Okay, this is a very based assumption. It's not exactly about here, אני חושבת יוסי, here about all, no מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה, because it just doesn't have dates. Anyway, let's go back to, we have, okay, Barch, I see.
But we could say there are more things on heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Most of things, I again.
I said, or we could say there are more things on heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy. That's from Hamlet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a I have I know many lectures, researchers, Bible researchers that are religious people. And once we asked them, me and some other students, how do you cope with this? I mean, because the religious attitude and the research attitude is totally different. So you have all kinds of reactions to that. One said, I just make a distinction, just totally separation, okay? When I research the Bible, I'm a researcher. When I go to the Bet Knesset, I'm religious, and that's it. Another said, because I think that the text is holy, not because of God and not because of the sages, but no, I will say it differently. He respects all the difficulties in the text because it is our holy text. So he said, no, I want to see all and every contradiction and everything that doesn't go well with other issues and all. I mean, Chazal with all their midrashim, they said many things that are really not between them and the text. You don't have any connection sometimes. Okay, like for example, all this what they said about Esav. Esav is who is I think a very quite a nice guy in the text. Chazal, what they said about him is quite terrible. But this researcher says, no, I respect every word that is there and every contradiction and every confusion that is in the text. I don't want to make it homogenized. The word is homogeny. Okay.
Excuse me, Chazal gave him honor because he gave honor his father because he buried his father. It is mentioned before Yaakov.
Chazal gave who honor?
Honor to Esav because they mentioned that Esav buried his father.
Yes.
It is mentioned ויקברו אותו עשיו ויעקב יחדיו.
Yes. One thing. Yes. And also there was another thing that they gave that they made like a mild saying about him that because he was cheated actually. So they. But normally Esav is Esav symbolizes the Romans that came in the time of the sages that they were. Okay, I don't remember. Anyway, actually, maybe we won't start this chapter now because it's 2 minutes. Anyone wants to comment about anything? Well, so
Just that it was fun and thank you.
okay, thank you very much. So next time we have next lesson we have next week because in 2 weeks we have Ma'agal Nashim, and
Right.
and after that I don't remember when, but I will write exactly. Okay, תודה, Shabbat Shalom.
תודה רבה.
Bye bye.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.